Hey you guys, it's your girl Lady Miracle and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the basketball star Allen Iverson. What happened to his career? Why did he just fall off? Did he sabotage his own career or did the NBA sabotage it? We're going to get into all that. But before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and also share this video. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to know the next time I upload a new video. So let's get into Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was born on June 7, 1975 in Hampton, Virginia, to Allen Broughton and Ann Iverson. His mother was just 15 years old at the time of his birth, and he was given his mother's maiden name as his father had abandoned his mother. Allen and his mother didn't have it easy, but they definitely made a way to make it work throughout the trials and tribulations that they all went through. As Allen grew up, he did not have much, but one thing he had was sports. Sports was more of an escape route for him, and he started early on as a kid with basketball and football, and he became very good over time. Later on throughout the years, he later attended Bethel High School. Iverson was the star of both the football and basketball team. For football, he started as the quarterback, running back, kick return, and defense back. He also started point guard for the basketball team. He was able to lead both teams to the Virginia State Championship as well as earning the Associate Press High School Player of the Year award for both sports. On February 4, 1993, Iverson and a group of his friends were at a bowling alley in his hometown, Hampton, Virginia. There was a large group of white men bowling as well, and no one really knew what happened next. Some people say Iverson and friends went up to make fun of the men, and other people say that the men referred to Iverson and his friends as the N-word, throwing the first punches. The conflict soon turned out to be racial. Allen was claimed to have hit a woman in the head with a chair, knocking her unconscious during the altercation. Of the incident, Iverson said, "For me to be in a bowling alley where everybody in the whole place know who I am and be cracking people upside the head with chairs and thinking nothing is gonna happen, that's crazy. And what kind of man would I be to hit a girl on the head with a doggone chair?" He said the D word, but you know, yeah. I'd rather have them say I hit a man with a chair, not no darn woman. So only he and 3 black friends were arrested. Allen was 17 at the time, however, he had to face adult charges of maiming 3 people. Only the black men were arrested for the incident, and prosecutors used Virginia legal statute maiming by mob, which had been used in the 1800s to drive this case. Iverson was sentenced to 15 years in prison, 10 months for good behavior on 3 felony accounts. Allen was a victim of racial prejudice. Later, his conviction was overturned by the Virginia Courts of Appeal in 1995. To this day, he maintains complete innocence and says he left the scene right after the fight broke out. Iverson ended up serving 4 months in jail and was later released due to insufficient evidence. After all this happened, he was later offered a scholarship to play for Georgetown with the help of his mother, because at the time with all this stuff is going on, nobody was really checking for him like that, because of course, you know, he was a star, but with all the publicity due to that stuff and drama that was going on, it was really hard. So with the help of his mother, she asked the coach of Georgetown could he play for them, and he ended up getting that scholarship. So the shooting guard joined Georgetown University in 1994. In his first season, he reached the all-rookie tournament first team and won a Big East Rookie of the Year. Also in his second season, Allen won Big East Championship with the Hoyas. He was the all-time leading average scorer at 22.9 points per game when he ended his college career. He declared for the NBA draft after his sophomore season and was widely considered the league's top prospect. After 2 seasons at Georgetown, Iverson was selected with the first pick in the 1996 NBA draft to the Philadelphia 76ers. Listed 6 feet tall and become the shortest first overall pick ever in the league, normally dominated by tall players, as proven by him being picked by the Sixers with the number 1 overall in the NBA's 1996 draft. The rest should have been history. His career should have been easy going from there. Everybody thought Iverson would have spent his career in Philly, putting up large numbers and winning multiple championships.
I've been through a lot of obstacles in my life, and I'm just happy I overcame them. Now it's just time Get in the NBA, walk that straight path.
Once he got into the league, there was no stopping AI. He was named the NBA Rookie of the Year to 1996 to 1997 season, a four-time scoring champion, winning the NBA title during the 1998 and 1999 to 2000 to 2001, 2001 to 2002, and 2004 to 2005 seasons. That's a lot. Allen was definitely that guy, indeed the answer. His regular season career scoring an average of 26.7 points per game, ranked 7th of all time, and all his playoff career scoring average of 29.7 points per game, and is second only to Michael Jordan.
When I grabbed the ball, I heard Phil Jackson yell, Michael.
Iverson has Jordan. The crowd is into it.
And I gave him a little cross to see would he bite on it. I let him set his feet, and then I stepped it back again.
Allen shakes free, gets two! Mike said no. Allen said yes. The bucket, the crowd loves it.
Am I going to try to get Allen Iverson back to what he did? When he did the crossover?
Iverson draws Jordan now.
No, I mean, that was a great move. I'm never the type of guy that says, I can't get shown up. I just try to limit those opportunities. So I'm not going to try to make it a one-on-one thing between Allen Iverson and myself, because we never know if we have to play a one-on-one game. I think he can beat me on the perimeter, but I can take him in the post. But he's a heck of a player. He's a young talent, and I think he's going to continue to get better once he learns how to play the game on a much higher scale. I mean, right now he's doing it a lot more physical ability. He's good. He's quick. That's a challenge for me to try to go out to him of his stature. He's so quick and small. But it's a challenge that I will back away from. He may cross over on me again. At least I'm going to get out there and try.
What was it like competing against the answer?
Man, I'm not even gonna lie to you, Rach. I didn't match up with him, but I knew I was in situations in pick and roll where I switched out on him. And I'm not gonna lie, I was scared to death because I could play defense and all, but I knew I couldn't slide my feet with Allen Iverson. Because every night when you looked up at the SportsCenter highlights, he was crossing somebody, he was putting somebody in the mix. And so all I knew was when I switched on him, I was gonna give him that Olay defense. I was gonna I'm gonna let him do his move, but I'm gonna let him go. And hopefully I can send him to the baseline because I was not trying to slide my feet with that guy.
Who's your point guard?
I'm gonna go with AI, because he was fearless. He was like me, my thing was any little guy that came in there, I'm gonna touch him up, Ernie. I'm gonna touch him up and lay him down, but he was the only one, besides Gary, he was the only one that just kept coming back. And the year they made it to the finals and got killed by us, he did everything that year.
They had him getting very passive on offense. They turned the basketball. Look at Iverson and Kobe talking to each other right now. A lot of talking going on there right now. I think you're going to see the referee step in and separate the two players.
Telling the official Ronnie Nunn, Kobe Bryant started it.
And AI as a competitor, he drove me to be as more obsessive about the game because I had to figure out how to solve that problem, And I told him when I saw him here this weekend, I said, man, you don't realize how much you push me, and I don't think people nowadays realize how great you were as a player, and how big of a problem you were for defense.
Iverson was also the NBA Most Valuable Player of the 2000 to 2001 season and led his team to the 2001 NBA Finals the same season. Iverson reprised the U.S. at the 2004 Summer Olympics, winning a bronze medal. Later in his career, Iverson played for the Denver Nuggets, Detroit Pistons, and the Memphis Grizzlies before ending his NBA career with the 76ers during the 2009-2010 season. He was rated the 5th greatest NBA shooting guard of all time by ESPN in 2008. He averaged 24.8 per game while leading Denver to a playoff appearance, but would be shipped to the Pistons just 2 years later. In 2007, Iverson was sent to Denver Nuggets, where he joined Carmelo Anthony and formed the perfect duo for the team. In 2 years with the Nuggets, Iverson averaged 26.6 points per game, which was impressive, but it wasn't enough for the Nuggets. Then somehow he came into the Detroit Pistons from 2008 to 2009, and we know how that went. Followed by a one-year contract during the 2009-2010 seasons with the Grizzlies. He didn't continue long though, as the contract was terminated only after 3 games due to Iverson's displeasure with the rolling coming off the bench, then returned to Philadelphia the next year. Over those 3 years, Iverson only played 82 out of 246 games, which all but ended his career in the NBA. Iverson announced his retirement, however, he came back to the 76ers. He appeared in 28 games but did not play again after taking his leave in late February. After failing to draw interest in the NBA free agent market, Iverson signed a 2-year deal for $4 million with the Turkish team in October. Iverson announced his retirement from basketball, citing he lost his desire to play. Iverson said he will always be a Sixers until I die, and that while he always thought the day he retired would be a tough day, instead it was a happy day. Now that we got the backstory of Allen Iverson and how he came up, now we're going to talk about the problems that he had over time and seeing if it was his fault or their fault. So let's get into that. So Allen Iverson definitely made his mark, and all the credit goes to him when he brought hip-hop culture to the NBA. A style so much associated with the game today, it's weird to think about the NBA before Iverson. Iverson had the cornrows, he had the tattoos all over his body. You already know, he had the baseball cap, he had the jewelry, he had the clothes, he had the shoes, he had it. Iverson was considered to be the biggest influence for the way of dressing for the NBA players. The trend was so popular and so common, the NBA had to make a dress code in 2005 that banned things such as all the things I named earlier because of Allen Iverson. For better or worse, Iverson changed the whole cultural significance of the NBA. Unfortunately, he was arrested due to possession of marijuana and guns. He also recorded a hip-hop song that was never released, supposedly because it was extremely homophobic.
If you're a hardcore hip-hop fan, then this album is for you. If you don't care about hardcore gangster rap, just don't buy it.
He was also getting into trouble at casinos and was actually banned from Atlantic City. So this is a time when Allen was the most loved and hated NBA player of all time. One minute you love him, the next minute you don't. And when I mean love him, the fans love him. They loved who he was as a person and how he just be able to express himself. The hate part came in to the higher officials was not playing none of that. They went, they ain't want none of that. It was a bad influence. It made the NBA look bad, and he was the problem. So the love-hate relationship, you know how that go. One thing you can honestly say about Allen is he brought his game. When it came down to play, that boy could play. Check out all the highlights. He brought it to the game and gave everything that he could. Now, as far as his personality and kind of like how he was able to just express himself and definitely have opinions, I don't think some people like that, and we're gonna see about who those people are right now. NBA fans know how Allen Iverson had problems with the NBA. If it wasn't from his coaches, it was the referees. He drove out many head coaches, including his love-hate affair with head coach Larry Brown. Iverson was traded to the Denver Nuggets after clashing with head coach Larry Brown and refusing to practice during the 2006 season. We all can't forget the infamous practice rant.
If a coach say I miss practice and y'all hear it, then that's that. I mean, I might have missed one practice this year, but if somebody say he doesn't come to practice, it can be one practice out of all the practices this year. That's enough. If I can't practice, I can't practice, man. I'm hurt, I'm hurt. I mean, simple as that. It ain't about that. I mean, it's not about that at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but it's easy to talk about. It's easy to sum it up when you just talk about practice. We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for. and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man.
By then, the upper league did not want anything to do with him. When the Memphis Grizzlies are your only option, it's pretty bad. Many people started to judge what Allen Iverson can do on the court based on what happened in Detroit, not looking at the other accomplishments that he had made. Despite having beef with 2 different coaches at the time, he stayed with Philly until 2006. He later did get on good terms with his old coach and was understanding what they was trying to tell him and help him with over time. Iverson had more problems with the referees of the game. They didn't particularly care for him, and I don't think he really cared for them either.
Listen to me. It wasn't your play, and you went from there to there and brought the crowd down. You're not going to do it. Crowd down. Crowd? Yeah, these people here. Refereeing the game. My job is to referee the game. All right, so what you want about the crowd? Allen, that's because you're not going to do that. Play the game yourself. You let people get it away. Allen, the conversation is over.
That's not part of the play. What I'm saying to you is... Every game I watch on TV, you call. Every call is a foul. I even told those guys before the game, Ben, and every call is a foul. They don't even have a part of the game.
Hey, Larry, are you through?
No, I'm not through. You've ruined every game, Ben.
Excuse me. You got it. You got it. Technical foul. Here. I suggest you sit down.
One of the coaches named Tim Donaghy revealed what really happened on the court and what happened behind the scenes. Later on, Tim did write a book and went on TV after his scandal what he had going on.
You say that certain refs like or dislike certain players, certain coaches, certain general managers,
and certain owners.
You told us, I knew these guys, knew who they liked, who they despised, and who they would help or screw over. For example, Donaghy cited tempestuous superstar Allen Iverson. Some refs liked him, some did not. Natural enough. But Donaghy said several refs would let their feelings influence their calls, by either favoring Iverson or favoring his opponents, and that would affect the score.
And I knew those relationships, whether they were positive or negative, had an effect on the game.
So you knew when Iverson was playing, and you knew which refs were there, you knew whether to bet on the Iverson team or on the other team?
Yes.
Iverson wouldn't talk to us. He didn't want refs to get mad at him. But his manager told us that the way the refs were treating him, some for, some against, made him sick.
I do believe Allen Iverson knew this, and I believe all the players know this, that certain referees treat them much better than others.
Donaghy told us that 2 years ago, Iverson had incurred the wrath of the refs.
He had threatened one of our officials, and the NBA fined him $25,000, and we felt as a group that he should have been suspended, and because he wasn't, we felt like we would teach him a lesson.
During that time, you worked an Iverson game January 6, 2007, so you bet against Iverson's team.
Correct.
Because you knew that all the refs were gunning for him. This was openly discussed.
Openly discussed. And I knew that the other 2 referees and I sought out to do a little justice of our own.
The refs quickly called curious fouls on Iverson, including rarely called fouls for palming.
And Iverson still upset about that palming call.
They threw his game off, and his team lost. According to the game's announcers, even late in the game, you kept hurting Iverson's team by letting defenders bludgeon him without calling any fouls.
In the pregame meetings, we came to the conclusion that we were not going to give Allen Iverson any marginal plays to the basket. And that absolutely should have been called a foul that I and the other referees passed on.
Something, the ball gets twirled, and whatever came out of his mouth was a little twisted too, and there's the technical.
Make 2 passes, the shot goes up, and you still have white jerseys coming across half court.
And now Allen Iverson gets called for another offensive foul, much like the first one that ended up costing him a technical, and this time he's just smiling.
Derek Coleman's still talking to the ref about wanting to foul on the Bobby Sura play. Didn't get all the way back on the defense, allowing a wide open layup.
This isn't a foul here. I mean, this is a no call, or
It's a foul against Bob Sura. About 6 seconds.
And now they call holding the ball.
I'm going to tell you what that was. That was a Steve Jabby. Don't shake your head while you're dribbling the ball at half court when you think you should have got a foul.
I agree with
I'll
you.
tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to run this game. That's Steve Jabby right there.
Yep, I agree 100%.
I mean, he does that every time down the floor.
He does that every time he puts it on the floor.
Yeah. But that's just Steve Jabby telling Allen that I'm running the show out here. And don't try to show me up by shaking your head wishing you had a call.
Chance of me missing that easy layup like that. I mean, when I went up, he just went around pulling me like this. That's why the ball was so short.
If I'm behind you, how can I see that?
Oh, I
you know
say you ain't see it though. I mean,
I didn't. No, I'm saying I didn't see it, Alan.
I can live with that.
You know what I mean? If I saw that, I would definitely call it. That sounds easy enough.
Pleading his case with Steve Jabby on this play by Chauncey Billups, where he kind of got him in the ribs on the way by. Didn't finish the layup, and that the discussion on our courts.
So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Allen Iverson's career was just cut too short? Do you think they was against him? Did he not follow the game plan? What are your thoughts about the situation? Why do you think that his career didn't go as far as he should have been with Kobe and Shaq and all the icons? He is still definitely an icon, but imagine how further he would have been if he was still in the game and he wasn't held back. Let me know your thoughts below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.